surprise. You have opened my eyes. I see love, powers in you. Such a beautiful view of the world. Healing is real. You recreate what you feel through your words. No hiding away. You mean what you say. Your strong brute force put me right back on course. Not hard to see. This is healthy for me to face the fears that I've had all these years. Just do one thing, one thing. You need to bear it all, bear it all, bear it all. You need to bear it all, bear it all, bear it all.
Hello, everybody. It's Darrell.
And it's Malisha.
I'm
so excited to be here.
You're definitely somebody who I'm excited to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
You're somebody who's known me for so long. Like, you've
Crazy.
known me for so long, and we've known each other for so long, and we've seen. And
I feel like it's about to go on 5 years.
Malisha, 7.
Oh my God, it's been 7 years.
We've known each other since 2013. It's been 7
Jeez.
years. September
we've seen each other through every phase, and it's insane.
September makes 7 years.
Wow.
That's insane.
But you know what we have to do? We have to go to our sushi spot and celebrate that because it's 7 years.
We do. We definitely do. So how has your week been so far?
It's been... my week's been strange. Like, because my schedule's it's not balanced. My schedule is very all over the place. So I'm trying to maintain me like writing and doing my yoga and like doing my, my workouts and everything to basically stabilize myself because of like everything that's happening ever since the whole little tech video is like, it's constant, go. And I'm just like, breathe. So yeah, I'm just trying to balance out,
Yeah, how are you dealing with being like booked still, even while you were in quarantine?
I know. I feel like it's still like I still appreciate every single moment. I feel like sometimes it's overwhelming, but it's something that I've always wanted. Cause it's like I feel like I've always been really busy, but there's difference between being like really busy but being booked and busy, like you're getting paid to do what you love to do, even though you're not sleeping as much, but it's still very enjoyable because you're getting to basically spread your creativity and the love that you have within yourself with others. So it's cool. I love it.
You have been doing a lot of things, and apart from your own creativity and your own projects, you've been featured in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
How is that so far?
Okay, well, this year and like the end of the last year, I've done a couple of music videos and a couple of like fashion related modeling things. And sometimes I feel like this year was a very eye-opening year for me, especially considering how horrible situation with COVID, but amazing thing for quarantine personally for me, because I needed that break because I was this close to a mental breakdown. Like so freaking close. Like I was at the edge of my seat type of mental breakdown. So getting that and finally dealing with all the things that I was really bothering me with my mental health and everything was absolutely necessary to stabilize me. So like this year, now that I'm actually okay with my mental health and it's very, secured for the most part, it changes the way how I experience the things that I accomplish. So like at the end of 2019, it was like I was okay, but then I wasn't, then I was okay, then I wasn't. So it really fluctuated a lot and I didn't really deal with it. I used to like just toss it underneath the carpet and pretend like it didn't exist. So anytime I did experience anything good, it really didn't last long. I was always worried about what's the next step or the next thing that's coming on. So now that I'm stabilized with my mental health and everything, and I'm very intertwined and in tune with who I am, it's like when I experience things and I accomplish things, I'm actually in the moment, which I've always really wanted to be, like very in the moment with everything that's going on. So I'm very grateful for it. You know, so 2020, yeah, she did a couple of things, you know, she took pop and, you know, it's hard, you know, it's been a year since Cameron Boyce has passed. There's been some sad things that's been going on since 2020 has begun, but at the same time, it was an amazing breakthrough for me. So it's a love-hate relationship for this year so far.
I think we should take a second to really appreciate Cameron, because I think that if anything, you know,
Please.
we're talking about being artists and stuff like that. It's very necessary that we talk about the people who inspired us as kids.
Mm,
And, you know, we grew up watching Cameron Boyce.
yes.
I will never forget when he passed. Like, I was upset.
Yo, it's so like embedded in who I am. It's like, it's weird to not know someone personally and they have such an effect on your life when they pass, because it's just like, he's definitely like been a part of my growth or how I saw the world. He's definitely opened my eyes in definitely different aspects of life. He's so beautiful, like, but it goes to show how people don't even have to be a part of your life to really like build you and nurture you and show you that, you know, you're capable of doing whatever you want and however you want. And now because of him, he has opened a whole new conversation, a whole new door of his whole like disorder and everything, and like his sickness, and now everybody's just paying attention and becoming more aware, and he has passed and he's still carrying that legacy, which is beautiful.
I agree.
Oh, Cameron Boyce.
Definitely agree. You know, while we're here, I just want to say thank you, Cameron, for being a light and just yourself. And I know it's very hard to be yourself. So now you did mention that this year you really took the time to turn inward and learn that as an artist, you have to define yourself before you get acceptance or support from anybody else. Within the past few years, especially the past 2 years, I would share a lot of my writing on my social media and stuff like that. And, you know, at the same time, I still did not consider myself an artist 100%. I did consider myself a writer, but I just, you know, I was seeking validation and I wanted certain attention, and feeling insecure because I wasn't getting it, or, you know, just not getting support from certain people who I expected it from. But I wasn't supporting myself enough the way that I should have been. And it took for me to really embark an actual journey as an artist to really know, you know, how to go about things or how to support myself. So as of recently, I have been able to consider myself an artist 100%. So literally this year, like I'm 20 years old. And what it did for me was it helped me let go of things that did not contribute to my growth or me as an artist. So the artist way is actually a journey to connect with yourself spiritually as a creator, and it helps you connect with yourself as a child. Because one thing we don't realize is, as artists, our artists are children, because our artists still see the world in a beautiful way, and we're impacted and inspired by things that some adults don't pay attention to or look at because they're forced to grow up.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's been a very beautiful journey, and for me, it's allowed me to do things like this. You know, seeing that the small things are what matter the most, and they actually lead to growth. So now when I share my writing, I don't take it down 20 minutes after I post it because I don't think I got enough likes on it.
Exactly.
Because one thing I've learned is I have a message, and I can't have into
Exactly. And keep starting from scratch to get the message across.
I would never get anywhere. And
Exactly.
I have that in order to get somewhere, I have to keep on going. And if I make a mistake, or within time, if I'm like, wow, I used to write like that, I will still keep it and I will still share it with the world, because at the end of the day, that is growth. And it's an example of growth. And I thought I was I'm one of those people who believe that I was a perfectionist, but I had to learn that that really just means that I had a lot of insecurities. And I so much about validation and what other people would perceive me as. And I also didn't want to come off as too feminine, or, you know, growing up, I always thought that it was wrong for me to be creative or
Mm-hmm.
too creative or too out there as an artist, because then that would mean that I am gay or too feminine. And, you know,
You're right.
a lot of men who have insecurities, they project that onto other people and other men or younger boys.
Definitely.
So when they grow up, they think that they're wrong for doing certain things. And that doesn't just go for me. You know, that goes for you as well. There's people in your life, I'm sure, who have, you know, projected that onto.
Yeah. Basically projected their insecurities onto me and made me feel small. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I definitely relate to you on that 1,000%. And if I allowed all the people that used to say what they used to say to me, like get to me, I wouldn't even be where I am now. I wouldn't even do what I wanted to do. I wouldn't even accomplish what I wanted to accomplish if I really listened to those voices that don't even do what I do. Most of the people that you get like opinions from are people that don't do what you do. And they're living in their own insecurities and they feel like they can't be creative. They're blocked.
And because they're blocked artists, they want to help other people feel insecure or trigger certain things or wounds for others, so that they feel they have a responsibility. And instead of turning inward, they try to force other people to
Exactly.
way. And to them, you know, that's their responsibility as an artist, but they're actually blocked artists. For sure, for a very long time, I turned to you and your creativity, and I supported you for so long. And I was always afraid to tap into my creativity as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, maybe you consider me an artist because you actually knew me, but no one else did, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So, without realizing it, now I realize that I used to actually support you as a way of, you know, I guess feeding my own creativity, or like, you know what I'm trying to say. Get that source
No,
of
I know exactly. Yeah.
artistic value that I was lacking.
Exactly.
Um,
And
and
it's weird because I knew from the jump you was gonna be an artist. Like I knew that you were an artist because especially how you analyze shows and you create scripts in your head and everything. I knew like you was a writer from jump. Like I already knew you was gonna be an artist. And it's weird because like it really goes to show that somebody can see you as an artist, but if you don't see yourself as an artist, it doesn't matter.
we actually put a pause on the recording because we wanted to address the fact that we kind of feel uncomfortable doing this. We're very close and we know each other very well, but it's just weird for us to share this with everybody. We want to,
Yeah.
of course. It's just weird because we're so used to having these intimate conversations with each other. But now that we know there's other people who are going to watch this and
Basically watch our intimate conversation.
feel like
You
we're
know?
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is unravel, you know, take some time to just loosen up a little bit. And this is my best friend. Like, you know, this is my best. I don't, you know, want to feel uncomfortable while having this conversation because then it won't be as authentic as it usually is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what I want to ask you now. So you've been dancing for like ever. I think that like even when I met you, you were dancing.
Yeah.
When I met you, when we first met, you would walk around the school with you walk around the school with headphones on, and you would just walk around in a way that's like, you know, you're flowing to your music.
Always a show.
I always talk about the long skirt you used to wear, like the very long skirt that used to flow, but don't do that because I love it. It was very, very Phoebe Buffet, you know, like so beautiful. And
I
you
lived in that skirt.
just flow around. Do you still have it?
Yeah.
You
I
do?
should in the attic somewhere. Yeah.
Which you have to pull that out. No way to pull that out.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. It's definitely somewhere in the attic.
I think
And it's crazy
I really, really do.
because that was like one of my favorite skirts. Like I really wore that shit faithfully. Probably like every other week, at least twice. Like I probably wore that like skirt at least 4 times 1 month. At least.
I love it. It was like a brown or like dark red kind of.
I'm just remembering the skirt color.
I love the skirt. But yeah, I remember that time. So now we're gonna go back. So I remember that time in my life, and like just seeing you, it was so like I felt like I was seeing myself as a child, like before high school, before deciding to dim who I am or dim my light to be comfortable, all to be comfortable anyway. But yeah, like there was just something about it that just something about you that reminded me of myself before, and just being so carefree and just learning how to just do whatever I want to do and flow to my and I think it's beautiful that we met in that way, even though I wasn't that way. We still met and we got to
and we connected. But like basically it was like you were that way. You just covered it up that way. But it's like my body allowed me to see you in that way. And that's why we connected that way.
It was so hard connecting to you, Malisha. Like, you don't understand. Like, it was so hard connecting to you when we first met. Because I remember, I was 14. I was actually 13 when I started high school. Because my birthday's, so I didn't even turn. But I was here around like 14 when we got really, really close. And I would be like, we would start talking about things that we have in common or like interests. We start talking about Pretty Little Liars and stuff like that. But in the back of my mind, I would be like, hold back as much as you can. Talk about these things, but don't talk about it too much to the point where it seems like you are
basically would like figure out exactly.
So it was just like always don't share too much or be careful because you don't show these people that part of you. But it was like I was trying to really just get rid of. I think that I don't know how easy, I don't know, it's weird because you were probably the only person there that I could have been 100% myself with and been fine. But I think what I wanted from you when we first met was a different kind of validation rather than acceptance or like actual love as a person, as a friend.
Yeah.
I think I wanted more of that. I wanted to be seen as the person I was trying to be. So even when you would forgive me for stupid things at the time, I would still try to not be seen as who I am, but you still kept on. Like there was
exactly. That's
and
funny.
I guess eventually it was just like, whatever. Like there's nothing I can do.
I feel like you was just running away from your true identity. Like, but your identity was always there. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a point that you didn't even eat in front of me. Like you didn't chew in front of me. It's like a whole nother level. And it's like I'm really grateful for it though. Like I really am grateful for it. And I really am grateful for me personally seeing your journey. Because it's a very like uplifting journey to see. Like honestly, from where you've been to where you are now is actually insane. Like what you're doing right now, like we're having like you have a whole show now. You have a show, you do projects that make people tear and cry. You're creative on a whole nother level, and no one can even compare their work to yours because it's yours.
Okay, so now okay, like, come on, not right now.
I love you. I just really want you to know how proud I am because you don't even understand the level of strength that you carried for a very long time and all this weight and unnecessary trauma that you was holding on to, that people was holding you back from. And look at you now, glowing, flourishing. Look at your room. You hated being in there. Like that's one of your most safest places now. And it's like it's giving you very Upper East Side Gossip Girl vibes. And it's just, I live for it. I live for you. I live for what you're about. And it's just beautiful. I'm just so proud of you. Like, I'm so proud. I'm about to cry now. Yo, I am so freaking proud of you. Like, it's insane.
Because before we did it, I was like, I don't think we're gonna cry this time. Because
Yeah, literally.
every time you go into like a deeper discussion, it leads to it. But usually whenever we don't even cry when we talk about things that may sound sad. We always cry when we talk about how proud we are.
Thanks. Yes, we do.
Another thing I realized is that back in the like I would say like last year and before, when we would have certain conversations about how we're feeling, we would almost we would take time to feel sorry for ourselves with each other. But I think what we do now is we actually try to find ways to actually change our lives.
Yeah.
And before, we used to just connect on that. But
we should just sulk basically together. You know, like it was like, oh, I'm sad. Okay, I get you're sad. I'm sad too. It's okay to be sad. And we should just sit in the sadness. And there's nothing wrong with being sad. Like, girl, like I'm queen of living in the sadness. But like using the sadness to uplift, change, or develop your life is way better than just sulking in the sadness. You know what I mean? Like we're constantly, I feel like people don't really get to experience friendships like the friendships we have. And I'm like, damn, like I would be so sad if I didn't get to experience a friendship like this, because it's like a constant growth, a constant level up. Like you're never sitting and sulking in the same spot. Like you'll be like, okay, I acknowledge your sadness and I understand that you feel this way and you have all rights to feel this way. But we're not going to sit here and keep feeling this way. Like we have a whole nother life. A new day is coming. Girl, the sun is going to shine tomorrow morning and you have a fresh start. So why sit and soak, you know?
Right.
Like why keep staying there? It's not worth it.
And, I guess what we thought was, just continue, reaching out to each other. And then maybe one day, like this magical thing will happen.
Exactly.
And, I guess growing up, we had to realize that we are the magical thing that's going to we just have to really
we are
that growth within us.
We've been the magical thing this whole time. Like we was over here worried about trying to find the key, not knowing we are the key to the door. So which is crazy. Life is something else. I swear, life is really something else.
This for so long, I don't remember. Like now, I feel so grateful for life. No matter what. And I just know for so long, I did not even think I would. And, obviously it was because I was trying to be something I wasn't for so long. And then now I don't know what I'm going to do. But I had to realize that it just starts within. It doesn't start with the new job you get. It doesn't start with anything that has to do with
can accomplish, take it from me, like you can really accomplish what you want to accomplish, manifest what you wanted to manifest for a very long time and accomplish it. And in that moment, you can still see yourself accomplishing it and still be sad, still feel empty inside, still not know, oh my gosh. Woo, girl. Even when you're accomplishing the stuff that you begged God for, like you fought so hard, you put your sweat and tears, 75 freaking breakdowns every week, and you finally get to that point and you're still not even acknowledging how much and how far and how hard you fought to get here. Like it's crazy because like it's like you don't really get to digress like and understand, like take a step back and look at yourself and be like, you did this and be proud of yourself. It's very much like, oh, you did this finally, what's next? And it's just so depressing. And like one of the biggest things that I've learned, especially during quarantine, is that you are the main character of your own story. So stop trying to be the supporting character. You're with yourself every single day, every step. The only person that can really appreciate and love you as much as anyone else is yourself. So why worry about everybody's approval or a pat on the back? Be your own pat on the back. Kiss yourself, love yourself. Say, I love you so much, because you need to love you because you're the only person that's with you constantly. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy because like I really, it's so crazy to feel so empty inside and to be accomplishing what you wanted all your life. Like to just be sitting there like, okay, yeah, the commercial's out. I'm on TV now. I could be on a billboard. But hey, it's there and I'm proud of myself, but I still don't love myself. So I still don't get to really sit and take in everything and feel the love and support of not only everyone else, but yourself.
Right.
Really depressing. Like it was just so sad. Like around when Elf came out, I was at limbo kind of, because it was like, yeah, I'm so proud of myself, you know, finally, like this is the thing that can really start my career up. But at the same time, it was just like, okay, what are you gonna do now? You know, and it's like I never really got to I never really got to really take it all in and love me for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very hard being and growing up in a Caribbean household because you're breaking the rules. Like, what I'm doing is breaking the rules. I am making my own road, literally, like, basically building a house from the ground up, because they have certain like rules and stabilities of how your life is supposed to be aligned. And here I am saying, fuck that. I don't want that. Throw that out. I want a new blueprint. And it's just, it's very uncomfortable because it's like no one supports you. No one's in your corner. No one's patting you on the back. No one says you got this. It's like you have to find what you want by yourself, because in all reality, I may have came out of my mother's womb, but I didn't come on this planet to live for her.
As far as dance, like when did you really realize like this is more than just something fun for me? This is like a whole spiritual.
I feel like I noticed that dance was not just a hobby, probably around I want to say like 15, because it was around like, it was definitely in high school, because I was still dancing a lot, but I just didn't know if it was a real deal, because in all reality, I started dancing because it just made my grandmother happy and it made her smile. And she used to come to all my, like, you know, my ballet recitals and record, and she was just so happy. So like I feel like dance in the beginning was just something my mom put me in, and then I felt like I had to keep going because, you know, they put me in it and it was paying for it, and it just felt like the perfect fit. I feel like it wasn't until probably like after my sister passing that I realized that that's around the time that I had gotten my therapist, and we were talking about how I needed to find somewhere to let out all this rage, because I didn't talk to anybody besides my sister. So when she passed, I had no outlet. Like I didn't know how to talk. I really wasn't the best communicator, as we know. So I needed something that I didn't physically have to speak, but I also didn't want something that was keeping me angry, because I used to box when I was younger too, and I used to be angry, like punching bags, angry, like always upset. So dance became the literally dance is home for me. Like anytime I feel really like clustered and overwhelmed, that's the place that I'll go to dance. Like it's just home. Like I feel like I get a hug from dancing. And that's when I, like, around the time like my sister passing, so like around time like 15, 14, around that time. It was a really awkward time, but like dance became everything. Yeah, dance came home.
Mm-hmm. I think sometimes it's usually that traumatic thing that really stimulates our creativity, and that's like the beginning of us finding out who we are. I've realized that you as well, you know, you do share things more. You know, you share things on your YouTube channel more, and all day, every day. But it's a lot more than what you, Malisha. You would post something on you would share something on your YouTube channel, and your YouTube channel would be mute for like months to a year. You would come back to your YouTube channel and be like, and then like share a video.
No, literally, no, that shit is so crazy, because I couldn't be consistent on YouTube, but I realized the reason why I wasn't consistent on YouTube, because I was worried about views. I was worried about how people would like look at me as. I wanted to be a perfect representation of myself, but how can I, like, what is the definition of a perfect representation of myself other than myself? If like I always wanted a YouTube channel. When I was younger, I always wanted a YouTube channel. And like I used to pretend to do like makeup tutorials in the mirror and the whole 9 yards. But I realized that I started YouTube because I like making videos. I like talking in cameras. I like exploring and, you know, like playing around with my style and everything that I'm interested in. So when the hell did YouTube become worried about the views, worried about subscribers. I literally got subscribers and views because of the fact that I was actually being authentic to myself, actually liking what I put up.
I've met people who perceive you as this, this girl who, I think my cat's about to throw up. But yeah, I think he's about to throw up, but it's okay. I've met people who perceive you as someone who has, all this confidence, but mainly because of what's on your Instagram. But I think I know you as somebody with confidence, but that's because I know your journey and I know you.
Personally, yeah. I feel like people forget that Instagram is really just a platform. That is, my Instagram, being an influencer, my Instagram is like a platform of my work. So it's like a portfolio, a walking portfolio. And especially a lot of freelance work, they look at my Instagram. So it's very important for me to represent myself like really well for them to look at me so I can get booked for jobs. But I remember, like, I feel like Instagram, we always forget that it's reality, but it's like a fake reality. Like, it's not, like, I do dress like that, and I'm always like that all the time, and, I'm extra as hell, but it's very authentic where it's coming from, and I feel like a lot of people perceive me as either really perfect, really confident, and really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, full of myself, like really full of myself. And I had like a mental breakdown around December, and remember when I called you and we talked about it. And I will remember the reason why I ripped, like, I had so much pictures in my room, like so many pictures on this side of the wall and then on my door. And I ripped all my pictures down. Like, I had a whole flipped upside down. And then I realized the reason why I carried so much rage, because it's like some of the pictures that was on the wall, they were pretty pictures, but they were horrible days. But why compare to my reality, my fake reality, to Kylie's fake reality, when it's two different ball games we're playing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what I've accomplished is what I've accomplished. And one of my morning affirmations, thank God, to the book, because she worked magic, honestly, and it changed my life tremendously, was one of my morning affirmations is, your goals, like your opportunities, your goals are yours alone. Like, whatever you accomplish them alone. Like, don't worry about who did what, because the problem with social media is that I can create a dance and I can love the dance so much when I'm doing it in my room or showing it to my friends, and they love it and they're like, oh my God, bro, that's so good. Like, I cannot wait to see this dance visual. And then you can go on social media and somebody can choreograph to that same song, someone that has had years more of training, and they've never went to school, and they trained every day of their lives, and they experience life a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, different way. And they've been to a million dance conventions, and they're their level of understanding music and your level of understanding music is completely different. Or they approach their technique, but I approach how I feel when I create. Everything is very different for everybody else. But you can watch yourself and start degrading your own work because you see somebody else's work and you don't think it's good enough, but you never know, because they can look at your work and they can think, wow, I never thought I would approach it. I would never approach the song the way you approach the song. I'm saying, don't run on social media so much.
Yeah, is that?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I got a group of guys, and it was a whole, we're all sitting at a table and we're talking, and he's like, they just glanced at me, and it was just like, I didn't expect this. And I was like, what did you not expect? Me to be human? I don't understand. They'd be like, nah, you're just really pretty. I just didn't think, you've been through anything. First of all, I'm African American, I'm Black, I'm always gonna be going through stuff. Point blank, period. There's no argument.
A woman that you can come across.
Right. Are you crazy?
I don't think that's ever possible.
It's not possible at all. If you're Black and you're a woman, you go through everything. And if you're a man and you're Black, you go through everything. So regardless, there's still weight.
Now, I want to do an exercise with you.
Okay.
So what both of us are going to do, we're going to take turns. And we're going to look into the camera and look to ourselves. from time ago, you know, from a few years ago, or as long as we want to go back. And we're going to say, we're going to tell ourselves what we feel we needed to hear at the time. And you know, assure ourselves, you know, like the things that we were worried about back then that we are good with now, you know, just, you know, what would you say to yourself so you would feel like, okay, you know, I don't have to worry about this. You know, things happen and
Wow. Okay. Woo. Okay. Wait, I have to go first.
you can go first. I think that we should do it in letter form. So like, dear Malisha, X, Y, and Z.
Okay. Okay. Oh my God, Darrell, this is so scary. Okay. Okay. So I'm about to be like, hey, Hannah Baker here, live and in stereo. Okay. Dear Malisha. Yeah, so I know you're going through a lot right now. This is probably around the time where you're really insecure about the color of your skin, your lips, your hair, and you confide in other men to be the light for you, and you wanted people to accept you. Like everyone's validation of you was very important to you to understand yourself. Woo, girl. But I just want to say, I'm on the other side, girl. Like, I know you've been through a lot of pain, a lot of crying, a lot of really suicidal thoughts, and you've overcome them. I want to tell you that you're going to be beautiful, regardless of what anyone says about you. Like, be the truest you can be. Darrell, this is so hard.
It's hard to watch, honestly. Just take your time.
Ooh, oh my God. Whew. Wow, okay. So I just want you to know, wow, this hit home. This is crazy. You are one of the most strongest people I know, and it doesn't feel like that right now. You feel small. You feel like people don't really love you and people don't really care about you. You know, you really want to be accepted badly, and you're really craving God's spiritual guidance right now because you're at the edge where you just feel like there's like no tomorrow. But I'm here to tell you, girl. I'm here to tell you there's a tomorrow. I'm here to tell you that. Oh, Darrell, wow. I'm here to tell you that it's tomorrow, and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be so fine. You're gonna be so happy. You're gonna smile another day. Life is gonna get lighter, and it's gonna get easier. And the things that you're worried about and all that weight that you feel like you won't be able to escape, it's not always gonna be there. You're gonna be fine. Like, oh my God, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna get a therapist. You're gonna talk about your feelings, and you're not gonna have to be so angry. Being suicidal was one of the most hardest things that you've ever had to experience in your life, and being sexually molested changed you as a person, you know? And you thought, you know, everyone's validation and other people like you needed that. You don't need that. You really don't need that. You need yourself. You need yourself. High school, it ends. I'm here to tell you high school ends, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's brighter days at the end of high school. You cried all senior year. You didn't even graduate on time. You didn't even graduate on time. And you're worried about catching up to everyone else's and being in everyone else's race. You're in your own race, in your own lane, completing your own race. Like, there's no one ahead of you. There's no one behind you. There's just you. So remember, there's just you. And I love you. You are talented. I'm so proud to be you. I just want you to know that you're going to be proud to be you soon. Wow. This is great.
That's really,
Oh my gosh. Wow.
that,
Whew.
and it was very beautiful, and I was even really like trying to hold back tears because it's different when you hear somebody say these things and you've witnessed so many different versions of them. And it's just so, like, just thinking back about the moments that we've had before we got very, um, before we got, before we became honest with each other and our,
Mm-hmm.
when we bonded over the similarities that we have and we were still holding back with each other. And just certain things that were unsaid that we wanted to say, but we would just exchange looks.
Mm-hmm.
And I will always remember you having something on your mind or you wanting to express something to me, and you would just give me this space and you would just be like,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like we talk,
Yeah.
always talk. And if we don't want to talk, we say that and we respect it and we still say, but we always find a way.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa, you okay? This is a lot. Now it is my turn. I'm very grateful for you sharing. I know it's not easy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I started doing it here, like a live or something where everybody's watching you, but
Mm-hmm.
it's worth it. And there's a lot of people who feel these things and a lot of people who don't know how to put words to these things. So this helps that as well,
Mm-hmm.
especially as young Black people and young Black artists, we have to talk about things.
Mm-hmm.
So many piles of things unsaid within our family histories that have
Right.
certain things that we experience today that we don't know how to put words to. Dear Darrell, you are 8 years old and you are in your grandmother's house and you are listening to Hannah Montana and you like to watch the Cheetah Girls and you like to dance to a lot of music from your favorite artists from Disney Channel and you love High School Musical. You just feel so empowered watching these things. But then when you hear the key in the lock turn and you hear the men come in the house, you get afraid and you want to stop and you want to shut down. And I'm here to tell you that you're right to do these things and you are doing the right thing for yourself by letting yourself do the things that you love. And there's always going to be a point in your life where there's somebody else who wants to stop you from being great and doing what you love to do. But you, even if you do let them stop you, I'm here to tell you that there's gonna come a day where you don't anymore. You're gonna go to high school one day, it's gonna come, and you're gonna shut down, and you're gonna hide yourself because you were told to do that. But one day you're gonna realize how
It's okay.
one day you're gonna realize how important you are. And you're gonna realize how honest the things you used to do as a kid and the things you used to write and the things you used to sing and the things you used to listen to, they were a part of you. And one day you're gonna realize that being that you decided to let them go to fit other people's expectations of you, it makes you unhappy. And that's gonna be enough for you to realize what you need to do. And I'm here to tell you that last week you went to your favorite location alone and you took yourself on an artist date and you sat on the train and you rode into Far Rockaway and you looked out the window at the water and you were listening to Make Some Noise by Hannah Montana. And I know that that's something you did not expect yourself to ever do after being told not to because you thought that you were wrong for doing it. and you thought that there was a blueprint, but you are the fucking blueprint. I'm just here to tell you.
Period.
You're gonna meet someone who is very intuitive with herself as well, and you guys are going to, even as individuals and together, you guys are gonna break so many barriers that were built to keep you guys in, and you are sharing it with the world because you know that it matters and you know that your story matters. And now you are 20 years old and you're looking at yourself and you're saying these things to yourself because you love yourself more than anybody who told you not to. And you're smarter than anybody who told you that you weren't smart enough. And still to this day, there are going to be people who try to keep you in hiding, and people who try to send you back there. And you have to remember that those people are in hiding themselves, and that's the only reason they need your company, but you're not going to give it to them. And now you know that it does not stop affecting you, and the world will continue to keep testing you. But you know who you are, and you know the importance of sticking to that. Darrell, we're done with that. We're done with that. The purpose of this is not to sit here and cry and feel sorry for ourselves. The purpose is to share with you guys our truths, because the thing is, we're all the same. You know, we're all different, but we're all the same. And the moment we all realize that we have to all be able to share our truths, and it doesn't have to be with the world, but someone, because our jobs is to impact. And if you leave this earth and you haven't impacted your soul, you haven't lived. And I'm grateful to know that, you know, my journey has just begun. And apart from that, I know that I've impacted someone. Like my best friend sitting here, I've impacted her life, and she's impacted mine. And I think that before I was able to, you know, live in my truth, that was something that made me feel full of life, knowing that I would impact her and be there for her. So it's always important to impact and be that person.
Wow.
Now, before we wrap up, I did write something for you. I think that I need to read it now, so we get the emotional stuff done. There's two things on this paper. This I actually wrote for you a while ago, and I never read it to you. But this that I wrote for you recently, I'm actually going to read this first. This is basically how you impact me, and this is my perception of you. So here we go. You have forgiven me. You have forgiven me for not being my true self, for holding you from being your true self, for hurting you. You neglect your pain to consult me for mine. You sometimes put me first, even when I sometimes put you second. You support me. You support my creativity, my happiness, me. You love me. You see me. You've seen me when I tried to ignore myself. You are beautiful. You are my best friend. You are my greatest friend. I knew it all along. Thank you, Malisha. And now this is my perception of you. I saw a little girl dancing in the middle of a storm. Getting ahead to confront her, I caught up and asked her if she'd been aware of the storm, of the ugly storm. She said, yes, I see it. Then she proceeded to continue dancing.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. No, I swear to God. This is exactly why I was like, yo, I'm so glad I didn't get you. I would be crying a lot.
And I was like, we're not going to be crying. This is not the type of thing. And we always look at that type of thing.
Who are we fooling? Like, who are we fooling? Wow.
I'm very grateful for this. I'm very grateful to, you know, be myself and share myself with you and with everyone else because we matter. And like I said, especially as Black young creatives and Black people, it's important that we speak on things. That way we don't walk around with a lot of resentment toward ourselves, so that way we can properly do things to better our community and better our position in this country and in this world. Being supportive of each other because we have each other before anybody. And, you know, as Black people, we really do have to be, because, you know, any other support that we have, when it really comes down to it, we're the only ones who are as passionate about ourselves as we are.
Yep. Always.
Yeah.
We need each other in all reality. We pretend like we don't, and we're always like angry and against each other, but we need each other more than ever.
Thank you so much, Malisha, for doing this with me. I always appreciate these moments with you because it just feels like a breakthrough every single time. And I'm just grateful that I could share these moments with other people and, you know, break through the discomfort, because comfort is not going to get me anywhere. And I'm aware of that now. And I think that the importance of me being an artist and sharing my art with the world is sharing who I am with the world. So it has to start with me introducing myself, you know, from scratch.
Right.
So I'm grateful that you could be a part of this journey. I'm grateful to have you here to share with the world who you are as well. And, you know, there's so much to you that I feel like we just scratched the surface, to be honest. I feel like
literally.
I appreciate you so much for sharing things that I never thought you would share publicly, and myself as well. And this has been beautiful. I'm
so grateful for this experience.
We haven't even seen each other in like 4 months since.
Literally have each other 4 months. That's insane. But don't worry, we fixing that this month.
It's weird though because we talk, so it's just like
so it doesn't feel like
I see you, it'll feel like it.
Exactly.
And I'm grateful for, you know, the growth that I've gotten over this time, or the growth I've went through during this time, because now when I see you, you're gonna see a
different, like a developed down 2.0. Just so beautiful, and I'm so proud.
Same. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you for realizing that all you really need is yourself, and realizing that you are more than what you can provide for other people, or what physical thing can you create to show your worth. You know, it's really about right. So thank you so much for coming on, and I love you.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you so much.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bear it all for me. Get naked for the world to see. Write a song in company. So many days be wild and free. Go ahead, baby, do it proud. Let your hair down, sing it loud. Never stop at the